Right, hello. I'm back at home from the caravan, and once again, it feels a bit weird when you first return home because you're changing your environment and you've got to sort of adapt to that. I'm sure anybody can relate to that. But what I'm talking about today is I'm with Psychiatry.co.uk, and I feel as if I'm being rushed with my titration because basically they're saying to me that, oh yeah, your medication seems to be working fine now. You know, we're coming to the end of your titration. Zero. You know, I've only really just started it, and there's no way I'm ready yet. I mean, let me tell you about the medication I'm on. I'm on Equism XL, and I started on 10 milligram. And you have to slowly build it up into your system. Now, I've got a really high metabolism, and I can burn off medication pretty quick. So, started off on 110, then I started off on 2 lots of 10, 4 hours apart, and then I started on 3 lots of 10, and then I started on 4 lots of 10, which was, once again, 4 hours apart. There was a second, my daughter shouting me. Right, sorry about that. My daughter needed a drink upstairs. So, yeah, we kept on the portal. I'm not going to mention names because I won't do that. But the portal on psychiatry.co.uk is basically a communication between you, I'm out of breath running up the stairs, between you and your specialist that's taking you into the titration. Now, in the morning, I felt as if I needed a higher dose because the 10 just really wasn't getting me focused. Because it's hectic in the morning. I've got 3 kids, and when they're all running around and you've got them getting ready for school, there's a lot to sort out. There's a lot of sensory input going on. So I thought, right, I'll take me 20 milligram. So took me 20 milligram in the morning, 7 o'clock, about an hour it takes to get into your system, and then, you know, it's fine. I coped a bit better. So therefore, then I go to work. Now this is where the problem comes. Because I'm at work, it's more intense. Being a taxi driver, there's a lot to focus on, right? Just check this is recording still. Yeah, there's a lot to focus on. So the 10 milligram really just masks it, but not enough. So let me show you the clock. At 7 o'clock, I take my 20 milligram medication. About 8 o'clock, that's when I start to feel the benefits of it working. I don't want to take it too early, because if I take it to 6 o'clock, then that's going to be out my system too soon. So, I've took that medication, say, 7 o'clock or 7:30. 4 hours later, 1, 2, 3, 4, I have been taking the next 10 milligram. But what's happening at the minute is, the hours between 10 and 11, I feel my ADHD symptoms returning, and they can be quite raw. So between that hour, you're sort of struggling a bit. You know, and it's like, you know, at that point I'm going to work just as I'm getting my ADHD symptoms returning, and it can be unpleasant. So I take my next 10 milligram at 11 o'clock, and I go to work. And because it's going to take another hour for that to start working, when I'm at work I'll start feeling a little bit better again. But this is where the problem comes. Work starts to get more intense as we start getting near towards the evening time, like 5 o'clock. So that's sort of quietish at work, it's not too bad. So by 12 o'clock my 10 milligrams sort of working. So by 1, 2, about 1:30, the 10 milligram starts to wear off, and then I can start feeling my symptoms coming back quite strong because it's been from 4 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you with me? So by 2 o'clock, let's start this again. Wait a minute. It's 7:30, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 3 o'clock. Sorry, 3 o'clock is my next dose. But as I'm starting to get busy at work, around about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the medication feels as if it's like totally worn off, the 10 milligram, because I feel just unmedicated. And I'm getting busier at this time when my symptoms are coming back, and it gets even more unpleasant. But I've got to wait an hour because I've got to stick to the right dosage recommendations. I've got to wait until 3 o'clock to take my next dose. But because I've waited an extra hour for it to take my next dose, my ADHD symptoms have got pretty even more worse. So I take my next medication at 3 o'clock, and by this time we're extremely busy in my taxi. All the kids are getting out of school, everything. The traffic's building up, it's more intense, and it is full on, especially when it's blindingly red hot in the summer. So take it at 3, once again waiting for an hour to kick in before you start feeling the effects. And I've got to the point now where my ADHD is that bad and I'm not sort of stressed or anxious. That medication's sort of now doing nothing. So I took it at 3 and I'm not really feeling anything at all. So 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock are pretty really uncomfortable for me, even though I've just took my 10 milligram. And when I return home, say it's like 5 o'clock, my head's all over the place. It's just a wash. I'm battered from work, I feel as if I haven't been medicated enough. But I know, because I'm in a calmer environment now in my home, after it takes us an hour to calm down, I take my 4th and final 10 milligram at 7 o'clock. And now this medication, this 10 milligram, works brilliantly. 10 milligram works brilliantly at this time. Why? Because the world's starting to slow down, it's getting quieter. I like it when it starts to get dark, I feel more relaxed, I get the candles on, the kids go to bed. And between 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I feel brilliant. Especially this time, between 9 and midnight. I feel really, really just perfect. As a matter of fact, that perfect, it gets to a stage where I wish I could live in that zone forever. And I don't want to go to bed because I've spent that much time during the day feeling stressed. I don't want to go to bed because I'm enjoying that moment. Now, say I go to bed midnight, 1 o'clock, because you took your last medication at 7, so it's probably going to be out my system sort of ish 11 o'clock, but I feel alright because I'm calm and it's in a calm environment. But you've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You've gone the biggest amount of time without medication. So when you take your 20 milligram at 7 o'clock in the morning, that has got a lot of work to do to fill in all that gap, to push them ADHD symptoms a bit, because when you wake up, you've reset yourself. Like, everything's out your system. And your 20 milligrams got a lot of hard work to do. And because of that, sometimes I even think that your 20 milligram in the morning isn't strong enough to fill in that big gap. And that's why when I take my 20 milligram, it's great up until about that point, 10 o'clock. And so the cycle continues. And why I'm not happy is the fact, like, my specialists have said, you know, everything's going great, we're happy with your medication, it's time to like come to the end of your titration. And I'm thinking, no, there's a long way to go. An adult can take a maximum of 100 milligrams of Equisum XL, an adult, not a child, an adult. So I've still got a long way to go. And I'm a bit miffed why they're telling me that, you know, it's coming to an end. It's like, I'll be the one that decides whether that medication is working and I'm in a happy balance. It works great. When the effect kicks in, you know, it's just like the Formula 1 circuit in my mind turns into a nice walk in the woods. It's lovely. But the problem is, at work, as the day goes on and more intense, that 10 milligram is not enough. And I've got to be on a level key, medicated. That's what I need to be doing. I need to be on a level key. So I'm medicated throughout from basically 7 o'clock in the morning, right through till 11 o'clock at night because I've got an intense job, I've got 3 kids, I need to be at a level key. But at the moment, there's too many whoop, crash, whoop, there's another crash, and there's another crash. And them crashes are the things that are causing me very much discomfort, especially mentally. So that's what I need to fill in the gaps, and that's why I need to tell my specialist that I'm nowhere near finishing the titration yet. I need to be kept smooth. So it's very important, speak your mind when you're on this, when you're starting your medication, because our mental health is important. Don't be afraid to speak up and say how you feel, that I'm not ready. And that's what I'm going to do. At the end of the day, you're the patient, you're the one that matters. And don't feel guilty either about you being a pest or you hassling them. Because this is the one thing I'm really not keen on, is the texting method with psychiatry.co.uk. It's alright, but there's a lot of things get muddled and misread with texting in your portal. You cannot beat a phone call. I'm not saying every day, but a phone call once a week, so you can read your tone of your voice, how stressed you are, and you can understand things better. So it gets messy, messaging each other all the time. So there we are, that is my medication so far. And do not be afraid to speak up, because you are the one that matters. We'll see you later.